Hello, my fellow D&D YouTubers. Today, we are back with another campaign diary. My name is Dr. DM.
I'm Uncle N.
Ha! And today, we have a really good one for you. This is going to be the Sea of Swords arc. So, we're doing this campaign diaries where we're breaking down all of Chronicles of Frostfire and really digesting it and making sure you can get something cool out of it, even if it's just a synopsis or cool ideas for your campaign or for you as a player.
Yeah. Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks, yeah. And pro tips. So, all right, today we are going to, as I said, to the Sea of Swords. So, previously the characters had gone to Maelstrom, the Court of the Storm Giants, and they stopped a coup there.
Yes.
And now they had to figure out how to save King Hecaton. And how will they do this? By getting a ship, because he's stranded somewhere in the Sea of Swords is a Kraken ship.
Yes.
Essentially a Kraken.
From the Kraken Society.
Yeah. All right. So they get bubbled back to, they get bubbled to Waterdeep. And Waterdeep has just been under attack by giants. So the threat still looms. It's important for me to make sure that what's actively happening in the world, in this case the giants are attacking, is still going on. So, and you show up here. Right?
The town was not great. And people were pretty on edge in the town. It was definitely kind of that, like, everybody's war-weary kind of setting when we showed up.
Yeah. And so in this situation, they have to try to help some people and also find lodging. And they know where Osk is because they were there some time ago, a very long time ago.
Very long time
ago. And so they go to I think the Hanging Inn Lantern or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you show up in this one?
I can't remember how I actually ended up showing up.
Oh, I think Taki teleports you.
I just kind of poof in there?
Yeah, I think you poof in.
Okay.
So, Enialis had not been able to go to the last session, so he spent some time with his NPC girlfriend, and just have a little bit of an easy teleport, and boom, there he is, along with the rest of the party. Magically,
how do you deal with a player having the poof?
And so he had done some things as well in the meantime, helped the dragons and so on. Now he's back with the party. So they go to try to find Osk, who's going to have who they know has a ship, because they had previously talked with him trying to get into the Bunga Bunga party. It's a whole other thing.
We did have to earn lodging though at this place.
Oh yeah, that's right. By doing what? Remember
the talent show thing, essentially.
The talent show. This is a Dr. DM special. I love having the players do like shenanigans or do some kind of a competition or something to try to get something.
And it's just random RP, basically. Like, John's up here like, how do I impress a crowd? Like, oh hey, I can do these fire magic stuff, like candles and stuff like that. Like, having them turn all the lights out and then lighting things up. Like, it's opportunities for the players to come up with fun, interesting things that they can do that fits within what their character's powers and abilities are, but it has nothing to do with, here's your D&D stats for doing combat with this character class. Like, it's just having fun with what would a sorcerer that has fire magic do to impress a bunch of folks at a random inn that are like kind of just went through some bad stuff and need something to kind of perk them up and distract them from life.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's cool. And you all always knock it out of the park as far as those ideas and bringing like non-combat abilities sometimes to non-combat encounters and stuff. So yeah, you did that. I think Amalia ended up giving like some kind of like ridiculously emotional speech. I don't know if she was crying or the crowd was crying or something like that. I think she ended up winning despite other people rolling higher than her.
Yeah, she just, the whole crowd was just bawling their eyes out afterwards, and like, that was a rough one, to try to get through without going
also crying ourselves. This is a hint or a tip for you as DMs too. It's in this case I had them all do performance checks, right, based on what they did to try to impress the crowd. Amalia did not have the highest performance check, but I had her win because she had the most emotional, the most like dramatic like retelling, like role play. So but everybody won anyway in the end. I think you all are getting a magic item and stuff. So
we got our rooms, we were able to chill. It was all good.
And then Vahera got to talk to a ex-fling, this Osk Thunderhill, who's a Corsair for the Sea of Swords.
A very handsome man.
Very handsome, very handsome. I think elven, gentleman kind of situation. Something like that. Very debonair.
Very hot guy.
Yeah. And she goes in there, and the guy's like, I forget what he said, something about he's like been pining over Vahera. He's been writing poetry about it, whatever. Vahera is like instantly smitten. She's like, oh my god, this guy really cares about me.
Yeah,
remember that?
This was like a new experience for her character at that point. Like,
yeah.
She's, maybe people got the hots for her or whatever, but like, there's a thing, this guy's like been thinking about her for a long time and actually really is interested in her. She's like, whoa. This is new. I like this.
Yeah. She loved it a lot, especially for her as, Vahera as the character, right?
Yeah.
Had a bit of a rough upbringing and hasn't had much love.
A bit of a rough upbringing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which,
really
her dad and everything. So, and we'll get into that too. But so it was a really cool experience for her character to really help kind of have some growth for her, I think.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I wasn't thinking exactly that would happen, but I went with it 100%. I was like, okay, Asuka's there, therefore, okay, it's reciprocal. I was like, this is great.
She jumped right on that, and that just became a thing then for a lot of the rest of this.
And I gotta say, Vahera's really good. Vahera Jess is a player, and we played Avernus, and she also had a really awesome relationship with the NPCs, so she ended up marrying even. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. That was good too.
Yeah, great.
That was another really good campaign. It was the beer flu campaign, and it was all through
Zoom or whatever. Yeah.
But even though it wasn't as cool as our normal green screen stuff from that standpoint, highly recommend. A lot of really good story stuff, a lot of really good character interactions, just really fun, and it can tie into the future of this campaign, perhaps.
So we have that in this channel here. It's Descent into Avernus. Check it out. It starts off a little slow, but I think it's super cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It is
lots of badass stuff.
Very rule of cool, especially towards the end.
Oh my god, absolutely.
It gets epic.
So all right, a bit of a tangent there, but we're back at the inn, and Vahera, of course, easily. I don't even think I made her roll. I was like, she easily not seduces, but charms this Osk.
Yep.
And gets the ship, and he's like, I'll do anything for you, Vahera. I'll sail to the end of the world, or whatever.
Yep.
And so they get the ship, because, again, they don't have a sky ship anymore, and they no longer have a dragon. And John, even though he is a dragon, he can only transform for a little bit at a time, so he can just fly across the sea.
He's not got the full, I'm just a dragon full-time kind of thing going on. Yeah,
he's still working through that. So, so what happens now? They take the ship across the Sea of Swords, and they have some kind of zany ship stuff happens. A little bit of lightheartedness in there.
A lot of rigging. Some sea shanties.
Oh yeah,
with the crew.
Everyone sung sea shanties. It's there to watch if you want. In Chronicles of Frostfire, all the characters sing a sea shanty.
Yep.
I think it was a little bit out of sync. Like I wish I could have done it a little better. That's as in like had all the text ready ahead of time. So, but either way, we did it. It was a fun community thing.
It was goofy fun stuff. Just doing a boat. Vahera had continued use of the captain's quarters.
Oh my god!
The entire voyage, while the rest of us were in normal quarters.
Yeah, just kind of like getting teeth thick and stuff. Yeah.
Is this when we found the toilet wine?
Oh my god, they found the toilet wine. I forgot about that. Yeah, on the ship.
God.
I had him do some. I love doing this. If you're a DM or a player that's happened to you, let us know. I like whenever the situation. I like having like little events, like little mini scenarios they can do, like little side quests, if you will. Sometimes not that impactful to the plot, but I try to make them like be points of levity and points of fun. In this case, one of the captains had, it was
the first mate.
The first mate. Will Savage.
Yeah.
He was the right captain, yar.
It was, what was going missing? It was some of the fruit or
something. Some of the fruit. Some of the citrus fruit.
Somebody was stealing the citrus fruit on the ship, and he, kind of as a side thing, he's like, hey, can you, see if you can figure out who's stealing the fruit? Mm-hmm. So, we started asking around, and Vahera in particular is pretty good at this. So.
Yeah, stealthing around or intimidating.
Yeah, so they end up figuring out, oh, wait, there's a room down here in, like, the bottom level of the ship, and it's locked for some reason.
Yeah.
And clearly we got the fruit's been stolen from the storage, so.
I think it was a used, like, urinal or whatever, like a bathroom.
Yeah, I think she ended up, like, peeking under the door with a mirror or something like that. Like, oh, there's guys in here and busting in, almost, like, going full ham on these guys. And they're like, oh shit, don't kill us, don't kill us. We're just making booze.
Yeah, they thought like something like really deep and nefarious was going on. I was like, no, they're just only making toilet wine. Yep. So they do that, and they find out the recipe was like something like John had like some kind of sarcastically written like 20 years ago when he was a kid about his dad's wine was like equivalent of toilet winers.
Yeah,
I just like made this up.
Special recipe thing he did as like a angsty angry teenager.
Yeah,
and then like he threw like a bottle in the ocean or something. They found her or something crazy like that.
So that was a bit of shenanigans until one day, the next day or the second day after that, they wake up to seeing the Morkoth, which is the ship, a giant
like the wall of fog in the ship coming out.
Yeah, and it was like a ship with like actual like kraken tentacles, like squid tentacles. It was pretty spooky,
enormous.
Yeah,
too.
And they ended up using their ship's special ability, which is like some kind of like shockwave to stop it in place. And they thought they got it, but remember who showed up?
Yep, that would be the Kraken itself.
Yes, the Kraken. The Kraken of the Kraken Society, Slarkathil, like a giant, really challenging Kraken wizard.
Yeah, that thing, that was another rough encounter.
It was.
We also almost lost people in.
You did? Oh, yeah. I mean, the Kraken was just beaten up in the ship, and they had to take care of the Kraken before the Kraken would destroy the ship. And at that point, Raswar showed up.
Yes.
Remember, this is...
flying into battle, like cleaving and tentacle that was wrapped around the ship, and we're trying to get all the tentacles off the ship. That was thing. Like he's just flying into battle and cleaving and being a typical epic paladin of
Tempest.
Tempest,
War. So that's something. He was gone for a couple episodes. So I want to introduce him again. Dramatically, really epically. So I just came down. I was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "I want to get in there and beat some butt." So he was just he came down, chopped the tentacles up, and together they worked to take down this Kraken who was on the side of the ship. It was a pretty epic encounter, and they're trying to take down the tentacles, and everyone, like all the other sailors, were like getting kersplatted, and and then you remember one mechanic from there that was interesting, the mind control thing.
Oh yes, it's almost we're actually having to attack each other.
Yeah, so I have usually when it's a single boss, I'll have the boss have, of course, legendary actions, sometimes more than 3, because my players are super powerful and I want to give them a challenge. And I'll also have usually be like a lair action. So on like a 20 initiative, I'll do something, right? In this case, it was a mind control. Sweep would go out from he's a Kraken wizard who mind controls people, and in this case, the players were susceptible to that. I had to do charisma saves. And
well for me.
No, I think most of them, a lot of them failed. I got to say, saving grace, always have a paladin in your party because that extra, the aura of courage or whatever to give plus your saves really saved their day. But still, a lot of them got mind control. I think Basil got mind control pretty much every turn, and Basil was just beating up John for some reason. He was attacking the closest player. I think that was a cool way to make combat also unique. This mind control element and different protocols.
Suddenly, we're down from being a party of however many to, now half our party's attacking our own people.
Yeah,
crap.
That was insane. I think even then, though, John was able to transform. Mm-hmm. I think you take it, I would say handily. I don't think anybody died. Well, maybe some people went down.
We had a lot of injuries, but we also almost lost Osk.
Yes, so at the end, here's what happened. There's a couple of possible scenarios. I wasn't sure what was going to happen during this fight because, again, it was a pretty deadly encounter. So on one of the last turns, actually, everyone was super injured. I think everyone was actually pretty close, to dead. Because what happened was...
pretty damn beat up.
Yeah, because at the... I don't know if it was third or fourth round, when that came around, the mind control lair action came around, I think everybody failed it. Literally everybody.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty certain everybody failed it. Maybe one person didn't, but everybody failed it. And what would have happened, honestly, is if everyone was mind control and the Kraken was still attacking him, I'm pretty sure you all would have died. So, as DM, I had a bit of an ace up my sleeve, which was Osk, the NPC. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I'm going to make an NPC and have nobly sacrificed himself to help the party. And so what I had him do was kind of grab out a couple grenades basically, and he's like, "Vahera, I love you!" And then he just jumped in the Kraken's mouth and exploded everything. And it was a bunch of fog. You couldn't really see exactly what happened, but it looked like he was jumping in his mouth. So had these grenades, and they after the Kraken exploded into kibbles and bits basically, and
just chunks of Kraken everywhere.
Sashimi, and they'd already pretty much got it down. Was almost the Kraken was almost defeated anyway.
Yeah.
So they did all the work, and they were, released from the mind control, obviously. And first thing they do is "Where's Osk?
Yeah,
where's Osk?" Vahera's like, "No, Vahera didn't even say." I don't think she even said anything. She was
panicked,
physically panicked. Yeah.
and Vahera Vahera's kind of... She gets the big mom energy from
Amalia. Yeah, Amalia's...
Amalia's got all the big mom energy when it comes to Vahera, and Basil, too.
And really the whole group, honestly.
Yeah, those two, though.
In particular, yeah.
And, she's like, oh, God, no, we can't let Vahera have this kind of pain and agony in her life with everything else she's been through. Mm-hmm. And it's like doing super search mode, like... rolling like
spotlight.
Yeah, like rolling like a perfect
I think she's rolling that 20. Yeah.
Like, there he is.
Oh my god. So let me give you the DM's perspective from this. What Ed was saying is that I was not expecting, well, I figured this character, this NPC probably sacrificed himself with a grenade to take down the Kraken, to save the party and save his love Vahera. And I was like, okay, maybe there's a chance that somehow, either threw the grenades in or somehow the explosion kind of threw him off or whatever. And I was like, okay, Amalia, if you roll, because she used all the rest of her spell slots, she was a cleric of Akadi, to like part the fog or whatever, and like part the water. She's seen displaced water. I don't even remember. I was like, holy cow. And I was like, okay, if you give me, after all this, give me a perception roll. And the DC was very high. I was like, if you make this, I didn't say this, but I was like, just give me the perception roll. And I usually don't say I'm not gonna say what it is or what can happen. But I was thinking in my head, like, if you make this DC I've set, there's a chance that Osk may still be there. And turns out she rolls a nat 20, and I'm like, all right, you put all this work into it. I'm not actively saying this, but I'm thinking, all right, this is only fair for the player. So Osk is there, and kind of like he's over like a piece of driftwood or something like that, like
from parts of the ship that blast apart.
And it's like a scene from at the end of Titanic, whatever, and so they rush down and save him, but he's had like some concussive damage, so he's not he's
not in good shape.
No, and that's also a little bit stressful there. But I can't just give the players everything they want automatically. Yeah. But they end up finding that in the ship. Is King Hecaton. Remember, he breaks through the ship or whatever, really epic, and he's like on the sea, like some kind of like...
Yeah, it's like freaking enormous. Yeah. Like, Poseidon just decides to show up. Like, yo, dudes.
Yo, what's up? And he ends up telling them that he has a way to find Iymrith, but Iymrith, there's a shield around where she's at, which is the Anarok Desert.
Yes.
Around this castle she's in.
Floating castle.
And he ends up, through the persuasion of the characters, ends up healing all of them, including Oz, so Oz kind of gets his bearings again.
Sputters back to life.
Yeah. And they're all happy, and they have their next goal, which is to take down Iymrith.
Yes, and at her own lair this time.
Mm-hmm, this time.
Revenge.
And they've leveled up quite a bit. They're ready. They have awesome magical items, awesome abilities. Quote unquote. But there is one more thing before they get there, and that's going to be, we'll talk about the next episode here of this campaign diary. It's going to be time travel.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, how can we possibly do time travel in Dungeons & Dragons? So we're about to see, look out for that one.
Yep.
So anyway, this has been the Sea of Swords arc for this campaign diary. I hope you learned something useful, something you can incorporate in your campaign, or you as a player, can use. Anything else, Uncle Len?
I mean, that was a good one. That had giving players, the emotional moments. Mm-hmm. You had epic battles against big bosses. I mean,
yeah,
that was a good one. Plus, flying half dragons with axes and
yes, rock on. Yes. Cool. So thank you for watching this. Don't forget to smite that like button.
Yes.
Leave a comment. We love
subscribe.
that. Definitely. Please subscribe. It super helps us out a lot. We're getting close to 1,000.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks for watching.